What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is Pissah. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith LaCava. What's going on, Save the Bro Zone layer?
Not much, Bill Bromanowski.
Okay, all right. Episode 40. Pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into it. Right into Wicked Pissah News.
Here we are, Frankie, again. Wicked Pissah News. We got the Bruins update. Man, they suck. Sitting at 30-39 on the season. Like we said last week, 7th in the Atlantic Division. So let's break it down what they did this past week. They beat the number 1 seed in the Atlantic, Florida Panthers, 3-2 in Boston.
That was a crazy game, too.
Yep.
Down 2-0.
Yep.
Right? They came back down 2-0. You didn't think after all those trades, after all those moves, you didn't think in a million years they were going to come back from 2-0 against the Panthers.
Absolutely not. But they did that this past Tuesday.
3-2.
Followed by a 6-3 road loss versus the Senators this past Thursday. Then a 6-2 home loss versus the Lightning last Saturday. And lastly, a 3-2 overtime loss on Monday versus the Sabres in Boston. Mind you, the last place Sabres.
It's gross, yeah. I mean, we talked about the Sabres a couple weeks ago when they beat us, and that was before all the trades.
Yep.
The 6-3 loss to the Senators, Ullmark versus Swayman. So that was the talk there. The two former, teammates there. And
right.
Ullmark got the better of him. Swayman actually got pulled. He played like crap. So
yeah, he did.
I don't know. He gave up 4 goals, on like 15 shots. So he did terrible. So he got pulled, and Korpisalo actually he's been playing a little bit better. Korpisalo got the start last night. Lost in overtime last night to again Buffalo. That was they came out. They played better. They've been playing better since these moves a little bit, but to lose to Buffalo's tough.
Yeah, that's gross. Bruins ain't making the playoffs. We know our Celtics are. Let's get into the Celtics update. So sitting at 49-19 on the season, still second behind the Cavs. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's break down what they did this past week. So they lost 118-112 in Boston versus the number 1 seed OKC Thunder.
That was the craziest game.
Yeah, man. I don't even want to, honestly, I'm just going to bring this up. The Celtics attempted 36 3-pointers in the first half of that game. That's most in any half in NBA history.
Yep.
And they didn't hit a single shot inside the arc in the first quarter. They were going for nothing but threes. But mind you, they were 5 for 27 in the whole second half on threes. And it kind of looked like this.
Let it rain! Rain dance! Raindrops!
Here we go again with Philip Seymour Hoffman and along came Paulie, man. Yeah, he ain't shooting too good right now.
63 attempts is what they shot. 37, 27 in the second half. So, yeah, 63 attempts, terrible. That's the third most in a game in history. The Thunder attempted 23 more free throws than the Celtics. Mm-hmm. And, that really was the difference in the game, really, is the free throws.
Yeah, 31%.
You can't take 63 threes and
20 for 63.
It's
one thing if they go 50 for 63, but they went 20 for 63. So followed by a 103-91 road win versus the Heat. Then lastly, a close 115-113 win versus the Nets in Brooklyn. Peyton Pritchard, he had 22 points, 5 3-pointers made. The reason I bring that up, he surpassed Wayne Ellington for the most threes off the bench in a single season with 219, and those numbers are just going to go up.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that game was not close. Mm-hmm. Within 2 minutes left, we were up like 12, and they just let the Nets get back in. At one point, it was down to 1 point. They had a foul. We ended up.
It was getting close.
It was getting close. We only won by 2. It was a gross. They let the Nets right back in. It was crazy.
Yeah, they did.
And they play the Nets tonight.
Yes, they do.
So
as a matter of fact,
I mean, we talked about the Cavs briefly. Again, the Celtics, still in second. The Cavs had ran off 16 straight franchise record, 16 straight wins, but they did finally lose to the Magic. So I'm gonna.
Yes, they did.
I'm gonna give them
Paolo
applause.
Banchero went off in that game too.
And Wagner played real well too. Yep. So I mean, give them credit. Finally,
absolutely,
finally lost one there. But yeah, the Cavs have been playing great. Thunder's been playing great.
It's looking like they probably will be the number 1 seed, man. But we're gonna contest with them in a 7-game series.
Of course we will.
Absolutely, brother. So let's get into some unfortunate NBA injuries, and we'll start with the 76ers, our rival. Mm-hmm. So 76ers, Paul George is out for the rest of the season after he was given injections in his left adductor muscle in left knee. Now, the recovery for that is like 6 weeks, they say, but where the 76ers stand in the Eastern Conference right now, they ain't making the playoffs. No. They're shutting him down. Joel Embiid's out for the year. Tyrese Maxey's been hurt and everything, you know what I mean? So
shut all 3 of them down.
That's what I'm saying.
Get a couple pieces, and hopefully, again, Embiid needs to come back and be healthy and play a whole season, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got another notable one here, Frankie. Spurs, De'Aaron Fox is out for the rest of the season after undergoing season-ending surgery on his left pinky.
Yeah, I heard that.
Bro, so like I said, that sounds kind of weird, right? But again, we look at where they are in the standings. They're not going to try to risk anything with him being hurt. Mind you, Victor Wembanyama is not there. Let Chris Paul run point for the rest of the season. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, they lost Wembanyama and they lost Fox. So, I mean, it's like, again, hopefully get another high draft pick. And they're building for the future.
Right,
They have something special there right now.
Well, Frankie, bring in the tanks.
Bring in the tanks. But yeah, other news, Steph Curry hit his 4,000th three.
He ain't shooting like Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly.
Unbelievable. So he surpassed Ray Allen in 2021. Ray Allen right now is third on the all-time list. Somebody surpassed Ray Allen since then, too.
Wasn't it James Harden?
It was James Harden.
That's
Yep.
right.
So
Yep.
James Harden has 3,135. I mean, as of a couple days ago, he might have played last night and hit a couple more. Steph Curry, again, surpassed 4,000 this week. And again, he's added 1,027 since 2021. Ray Allen had 2,973 threes. And now Curry's already surpassed 4,000 4 years later. So it's kind of crazy. And he's got 850, almost 900 more than James Harden.
Yeah, I'd say so, man.
It's kind of crazy.
And it's just that number's going to get bigger, too.
Oh, yeah, it's going to, of course.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we move over to the Red Sox?
Let's get into it, Frankie. So still in spring training, let's break down what the Red Sox did this past week. So they beat the Twins 6-5 this past Wednesday, followed by 2 straight wins, beating the Mets 3-2 this past Thursday, and then a 9-4 win versus the Marlins this past Friday. So that put them on a 3-game win streak right there. Then on Saturday, a 7-3 loss versus the Braves, ending that 3-game win streak, followed by a 6-5 win versus the Twins on Sunday. Then they had 2 games on Monday, actually. A 2-1 win versus the Braves, and then a 12-3 loss versus the Orioles. Lastly, a 4-4 tie versus the Yankees.
I don't like the ties either. We were talking about that a little bit, but I mean, it's just... I understand why they do it. They don't want people to get hurt.
The Yankees, too, man. With that rivalry, I know it's spring training, man, but come on, man.
4-4 tie. I mean, they've been playing great. One of my friends told me that the Sox, and again, I don't know how true this is because I didn't look, but have put up the most runs in the spring training so far of any team. So I don't know how true that is. That he said that Saturday night. So
yeah, I haven't really heard anything on that. I'm actually going to look it up, but if that is the case, awesome to hear.
They've been scoring a lot. I mean, the last few games hasn't been a ton, but
they had
before that we talked about it.
Right, they had a few games where they put up 5+ home runs.
It's like 8 or 9 runs a game at one point. So.
All right, Frankie, let's get into that NFL news.
We got some NFL stuff always.
All righty, man. We're going to start it. Before we get into the transactions, we got 2 small stories we want to bring up. But I want to say this really isn't a small story because this guy's a legend in Philadelphia. So Eagles legend, defensive end, Brandon Graham retires after 15 NFL seasons, Frankie. 218 total games played between the regular season and playoffs. 82 total sacks between regular season and playoffs. And mind you, 2-time Super Bowl champ. He actually unfortunately beat us in one of them. Got the strip sack on Tom Brady, too, man. I'll never forget that. Yeah. It's funny, too. I was thinking about this, man. How many times in those Super Bowls the Patriots lost, against the Giants, where the Giants were in the position to drive down the field to get the game-winning touchdown? In that game, I remember saying it, finally, we're in this position. And then Brandon Graham comes around the corner. And mind you, that was the only sack Tom Brady took the whole game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been an animal for his whole career. So.
And you got to bring up what he did this past year, man. He did the Ray Lewis approach. He only played in 11 games. He tore his triceps. Mind you, came back for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did.
Tore that same triceps, and he's ended it on a good note, man, as a champion.
As a champ. That's
got to give it to him, man. Congrats, Brandon Graham, on a hell of a career.
Yeah, that's sick. Good for you.
So, Frankie, you got something. Somebody we talked about that we thought was going to get cut.
I don't know.
Staying put.
Kirk Cousins, I mean, surprisingly, so this past weekend, his roster bonus hit. So a lot of people speculated that he'd get cut. He went 7-7 as a starter last year. Penix came in and started the rest of the season. 9
interceptions the last 7 games.
I'm saying, so he didn't play very good, obviously, but so there was a lot of speculation that Kirk Cousins would not make it, to the beginning of March because of that roster bonus. But they didn't cut him, so the $10 million roster bonus hits. He's due to get $27.5 million this year. So he's got a big contract, so it's not like he's very tradable.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I was very surprised with that. Just thought we'd bring that up, and he has a no trade clause as well. So if he doesn't want to get traded to a certain team, he doesn't have to.
Right. But mind you, too, with Penix being the guy at the helm now, they probably want to keep that veteran behind him.
I mean, yeah, again, they wasted a lot of money if you're just going to get a veteran guy to play backup.
That's what I'm saying.
$160 million he got paid.
So we're talking about money here, Kirk Cousins with that $160 million. So, Frankie, let's get into the NFL re-signings extensions, man. There wasn't too many from this past week, but let's get into the notable ones. Yep. So we'll start with Kirk Cousins' former teammate. Vikings re-signed longtime safety Harrison Smith to a 1-year, $10 million deal. Mind you, he's returning for his 14th season as a safety, man. Dude's a beast.
He is nasty.
Panthers re-signed wide receiver Adam Thielen to a revised contract. Thielen coming back for his 12th season and his 3rd with the Panthers.
He played great last season.
He did, man. He was stepping it up. Him and Bryce Young was starting to connect a little bit.
Connected.
Falcons re-signed left tackle Jake Matthews to a 2-year, $45 million deal. I mean, that guy's been around forever too, man. A big man of the trenches coming back for his 12th season.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they needed him, bro. So let's get into the Chiefs. I knew you had one, but I'll bring up this first one. The Chiefs re-signed running back Kareem Hunt to a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. Hunt led the Chiefs in rushing with 728 rush yards and 7 touchdowns. You know, Isaiah Pacheco was hurt.
And Juju re-signed with the Chiefs. We talked about them needing a wideout. Just another guy, a veteran guy, not a bad route runner. Like, just throw him out there, see what happens.
You know what's weird too, Frankie? So he actually, in 14 games, he only had 231 yards, 18 catches.
Yeah.
But, bro, do you remember that Monday Night Football game?
He went crazy.
Bro, 7 catches, 130 yards.
Yeah, he
Did
went
nothing
crazy
the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So, Frankie, there was a shocking release earlier in the week with the 49ers releasing Kyle Juszczyk, and then they just brought him back on a 2-year revised $8 million deal.
The 49ers are going to be terrible this year.
Yes, they are,
They
bro.
lost everybody.
On the verge of losing Ayuk the puke, too.
It's literally like there was a meme I saw that they showed all the guys they lost, and then underneath it was like they re-signed their mascot. He's nasty. I mean,
he's best fullback in the league.
Yeah, by far.
I mean, him and Patrick Ricard, but it's
Ricard's good
Juszczyk,
too,
yeah,
but Juszczyk's just like he can catch so good
Oh, yeah.
too.
He's the typical fullback you want in your offense. And then, Frankie, we got 3 big ones here. I'm going to start with this one, though. So the Texans re-signed cornerback Derek Stingley to a 3-year, $90 million extension, including $89 million guaranteed. Mind you, that's $30 million per year.
That's
and
crazy.
He is now the highest paid defensive back in NFL history, bro. He beat out J.C. Horn, who just got that extension in record last week. The whole cornerback market's been reset now, bro.
It's unbelievable how much these corners are getting now. It's crazy.
It's insane. They better lock these guys down, bro.
That's insane.
You know what I mean? And then, Frankie, it was just a matter of time. I mean, I thought one of these guys was going to get the bag, but they both got it.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Bengals re-signing wide receiver Jamar Chase to a 4-year, $161 million deal. That's $112 million guaranteed, mind you. Remember last week we were talking about Myles Garrett, how he became the highest paid non-quarterback per year?
That record already changed.
By 0.25.
With Jamar
Chase. So Chase is going to be getting $40.25 million per year. Now a new NFL record, bro, and it was well-deserving, obviously. The guy won the Triple Crown last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable, so.
And then, dude, not only that, they didn't stop there, bro. They re-signed wide receiver T. Higgins to a 4-year, $115 million deal. That's fully guaranteed within the first 2 years.
Yeah, he had a great season, especially obviously when Jamar Chase doesn't play or whatever.
Right.
He became the highest paid second string wide receiver.
That's right. Yep. So, highest paid wide receiver
as a number 2. Yeah, so they have the 2, number 1 and number 2.
You know what that tells me?
Kind of crazy.
Trey Hendrickson's out of there.
Yeah, he's gone. But I mean, to lock them up in Burrow, I think is signed through 2030.
They're set on the offense on their 3 main guys right there, bro.
You got to get some defense. So that's
absolutely, brother. So Frankie, let's get into the notable moves this past week. So we'll start with the trades. Cowboys actually made a few trades. They added to their defense. So the Cowboys acquired cornerback Kyer Elam from the Bills for a 2025 5th-round pick and a 2026 7th-round pick. Real quick, this guy he had 2 interceptions in his rookie year, and he hasn't had any sense. So we'll see how he does with Dallas. I knew he kind of was getting moved down the depth chart in Buffalo. Frankie, we've talked about this, guys. They've also acquired linebacker Kenneth Murray from the Titans for a 2025 6th-round pick, 95 total tackles last year, 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble,
Murray's
1
good.
pick.
He was drafted by San Diego, and I thought he was going to be a good player. I mean, that's a good pick for them.
Definitely.
A good trade for them.
And then the Vikings acquired running back Jordan Mason from the 49ers for a 2025 5th-round pick and a 2026 6th-round pick. So the Vikings, they're also signing Mason to a 2-year deal with over $7 million fully guaranteed at the signing and a max value of $12 million. All right, Frankie, so let's get into these notable signings, brother. So we'll start with the Bills here. They signed defensive end Joey Bosa to a 1-year, $12.6 million deal. The last remaining actual San Diego Charger.
Yeah.
So they released Von Miller. They got him. Seahawks signed longtime Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence to a 3-year, $42 million deal. Lawrence actually had this to say after signing with Seattle. Let's check out the clip real quick.
Dallas is my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there. But, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah. We here.
So he said that. Did you see what Micah Parsons said to him?
Yeah, he clapped back. He did.
So, dude, you can't. I mean, look at that. They're going back and forth right there. But again, I mean, Micah Parsons, you got to stay off the social media, dude, because the Cowboys need you, man. Seahawks also signed wide receiver Cooper Kupp to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Makes me sick.
I wanted to have him.
Yeah,
I wanted the Pats to go after him hard.
He's returning to his home state. I mean, you can't really blame him, dude. The Triple Crown winner from a few years ago. So we see how he does in Seattle with Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba. So the Cowboys signed running back Miles Sanders to a 1-year deal, man. The dude had a breakout season a few years ago. He hasn't done anything with Carolina since he signed with them. But Frankie, speaking of Carolina, somebody we talked about a few weeks ago. So the Panthers signed running back Rico Dowdle to a 1-year, $6.2 $2.25 million deal. We saw Javonte Williams sign with the Cowboys last week, and he wasn't going back there. He was a 1,000-yard rusher, and Chuba Hubbard was a 1,000-yard rusher.
I was surprised because, I mean, they gave Chuba some money.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm surprised they signed him, but, I mean, that's a good 1-2 punch. That's going to be great.
Remember Chuba got banged up at the end of the year, too?
I mean, they used him like a
lot.
ton. You know
yes,
what I mean?
they
like
did,
you said, Miles Sanders didn't do nothing.
He didn't do Duke, bro.
A few years he was there, but I think that 1-2 punch with Rico and Chuba is going to be real nice.
Absolutely. Another notable running back signing here. Eagles signed running back A.J. Dillon to a 1-year deal. Could you imagine the tush push now with Quadzilla behind him, dude?
That's crazy.
I mean, Saquon Barkley, come on, bro.
That's crazy.
The Eagles lost a running back, too. They lost Kenneth Gainwell to the Steelers on a 1-year deal.
Yep.
Chargers signed offensive tackle Mekhi Becton to a 2-year, $20 million deal. Big guy on the Eagles O-line, so they were losing some guys there.
Yep.
Chargers brought back wide receiver Mike Williams on a 1-year deal. You know, he spent time with the Jets and the Steelers last year. Let's see what he does getting back to
They need a couple
Chargers.
guys, like I said. I mean, Palmer left, and I mean, that's a good sign.
Before you know, Keenan Allen's going to go back
I
there.
thought he would. I really did.
Ravens signed wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to a 1-year, $5 million deal. You know, bounced around with the Titans and Chiefs last year. Only had 5 touchdowns, a little over 600 yards. Chiefs signed quarterback Gardner Minshew to a 1-year deal. He's going to be backing up Pat Mahomes.
Yep, I saw that too.
Running back I thought was going to go back to the 49ers. He did not. Raiders signed running back Raheem Mostert to a 1-year, $2.1 million deal.
That's a good signing for the Raiders for sure.
Well, mind you, not like last offseason, the Zamir White stock ain't going to be booming.
No, that's a good signing for them.
The Broncos signed 2-time Pro Bowl tight end Evan Ingram to a 2-year deal. What have we been saying they needed, man? They needed a tight end on that offense last year. I mean, Greg Dulcich and everything. They thought he was going to be good.
Yeah, Evan Ingram, that was a great signing for them. I mean, they definitely needed a tight end, so that's really cool for them. And then Mac Jones backing up Purdy. 2 years, $7 million. 49ers signed him, so yeah, I saw that too.
I actually remember the joke used to be, what if Purdy was put on the Patriots, what Mac Jones had, and then Mac Jones put on the 49ers, what Purdy had. Now they're both on the 49ers, and Mac Jones ain't going to be playing unless Purdy gets hurt.
That's funny, yeah.
So, Frankie, before we get into Foxborough focus, I just want to bring up the guys that we had from this past season who are signing elsewhere. So the Cardinals signed quarterback Jacoby Brissett to a 2-year deal to back up Kyler Murray. You know, the guy started the season for us.
Yep.
Eagles signed linebacker Josh Uche to a 1-year deal. Mind you, the guy's coming off a few seasons from having double-digit sacks. We traded him to the Chiefs last year. Yep. He has a lot of potential. I think the Eagles are getting a good steal there.
Absolutely.
And then I got to bring up the 2 longest tenured Patriots we had. They're no longer with us. So start with the Commanders signing defensive end Dietrich Wise to a 1-year deal up to $5 million. Second longest tenured Patriot at 8 seasons, 1-time Super Bowl champ. Yep. And then lastly, Frankie, the Commanders also signed cornerback Jonathan Jones to a 1-year deal.
I like Jonathan Jones signing too.
He was the longest tenured Patriot at 9 seasons, 2-time Super Bowl champ, and now both those guys are looking to get a ring with Washington. They're trending upward.
Washington done great.
Yes, they did.
They're doing great.
Telling you, they got the O-line looking good. They got the defense looking a little better.
Offseason, the trade for Debo. I mean, they're doing good things. They're doing big things right now.
Absolutely, brother.
So that's all we have for the Wicked Pissah news. Let's get into the Foxborough focus.
Here we are, Frankie. We got some more Patriots news, and let's get into it, man. So, end of an era. Patriots released longtime center and team captain David Andrews after 9 seasons with the team, 136 career games after being undrafted.
Yep.
2-time Super Bowl champ. Andrews could potentially retire, too, they were saying. He turns 33 in July, currently recovering from shoulder surgery after the shoulder injury that ended his season after 4 games this past year. So, man, I could see him going the retirement route.
This man was unreal for us. I'm sorry. Good for you. Great career, if that's what it is, but I was hoping he'd come back maybe one more season. With Drake May, but I mean, you know, if he's hurt and he's just not doing it, then you know.
And I hear the Patriots are expected to host a ceremony for the 10-year veteran to honor his widespread contributions over the last decade to not just on the field but around the New England area.
Oh yeah, he's unbelievable.
Thank you, David Andrews, for everything, man.
So much.
So Frankie, they just lost a center, right? We just signed one
today,
as a matter of fact. So the Patriots brought in center Garrett Bradbury to a 2-year, $12 million deal. First-round pick to the Vikings in 2019. Mind you, the Vikings, they just signed center Ryan Kelly, who was formerly of the Colts, so he was a little expendable. They got rid of him. He started in all-career 88 games, every game, including last season as well.
I love it. I mean,
not injury-prone at all.
He's durable, first-round pick. That's another great signing, especially now that Andrews is being cut from the team.
Only 4 sacks allowed last year.
Love it.
He was in a division against the Packers. They got a nasty D-line. The Lions, they got a good D-line. Yeah. So, I mean, dude, the guy's pretty good. I'm glad we got him. Now you look at it this way. We got center lockdown. We got right tackle lockdown. Michael Amanu, he's at guard now, too. So you really got to focus at left tackle and another guard position. Frankie, what do you give this Garrett Bradbury for a grade?
I mean, you got to give it an A right now. You know what I mean? A minus, A, something like that. I mean, we needed a center.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And he's been super durable.
Fits the mold.
Do you know what I mean? A first-round pick, like we just talked about. it's a great. It's you had to do it. So I think it's great. I don't think you overpaid, and you give him a couple of years and see what he can do.
And dude, I'm giving it an A- as well. I mean, with the trouble we had on the O-line last year, I mean, obviously David Andrews wasn't there, but losing him and then bringing in this guy who actually he just got released today as well. He was going to be the best center available on the market.
Yeah,
so we brought him in.
They scooped him up quick. They were smart.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I'll give that an A-,
Yeah,
Frankie.
I'm with you.
And then the last one I want to bring up, Frankie, is the Patriots signed linebacker / defensive end Kayvon Chase onto a 1-year, $5 million deal. And honestly, Frankie, I'm giving that a B+.
I like that too. I'm right about there. But I say just a strong B. I mean, again, guy had 5 sacks last year. We needed that. I mean, he's a good player too.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
With everybody else that we have, he's gonna fit right in.
So he was a first-round pick in 2020 to the Jags, out of LSU, mind you. So his first 4 years in the league, Frankie, he had 5 total sacks. His first year and only year with the Raiders last year, he had 5, set his career high.
Yeah.
Especially his pass rushing moves, a lot of speed coming off that edge.
He's only 25 years old.
Only
He's
25
young.
years old, bro.
I mean, it's a great signing. It really is. Again, everything we're trying to build here, it looks like it's defense. And then obviously, again, we're starting to look at the O-line. These are the things that win championships. Now we just need to get that one wide receiver, number one.
Right.
You know what I mean? A couple more pieces here and there, but that's how you build the champion.
So
you look at the Eagles last year, the number 1 defense, right?
Yeah,
they killed it.
And they didn't even
Patrick
rush
Mahomes didn't even know what to do.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
They're prioritizing power up front and speed off those edges. Look what they did with Milton Williams, and you still got Christian Barmore there. Mind you got Harold Landry on one side. Now you got Kayvon Chase on the other side. And we still got Anthony Jennings, dude. And his pass rush grade was pretty high last year.
And you got 2 good corners. Davis was a good signing. And, you got obviously Gonzo is unreal. So it's like we're looking great right now.
Dude, so not only that, he joins his former Raiders teammate in Robert Spillane.
I like that.
Very familiar.
That was a good signing too.
So, Frankie, there were some other signings, not really too notable guys, but I'm just going to bring it up real quick. Offensive guard, Wes Shyster, we signed him to a 1-year deal. 62 career starts. We added a veteran there. He could potentially start at left guard. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think he will, but I mean, it's good to have that extra guy.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He actually
always injuries on the line.
He played on the Redskins when they were still the Redskins. So, he's a veteran guy.
I like it.
Defensive tackle, Kyrus Tonga, 1-year, $2.7 million deal. 338-pound D tackle.
I mean, he's a big guy. You put him out there.
With Milton Williams and Christian Barmore to
complement
complement them pretty well. And then lastly, safety Marcus Epps. 1-year, $4.4 million deal. Another guy familiar with one of our coaches in Josh McDaniels. He's a piece, you plug in and play, man. I mean, obviously, add some safety depth, and he could be good on special teams.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll see what happens, Frankie.
Yep. We got another Lava Round trivia.
Picture this
Lava Round trivia. We got Nate D-O-double-G
Nate
in the house. Come on down, man. What's good? How are you?
What's going on, man? Glad to have you here, bro.
So Nathan actually is an intern here at Wareham Media, so that's really cool to have him on the show. And,
Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Tell him the rules, Keith,
All
of
right,
this.
all right, Frankie, so let's break it down for our boy Nate here. So there's going to be a picture of an NFL player that pops up, all right? You got 30 seconds to answer, and you'll have 3 hints. Those hints you can only use once throughout the game. You got initials, you got career teams, and the guy's position if you need it.
Those are like lifelines.
Sound good right now?
Those are like
Sounds
lifelines.
good.
You get 3 of them.
So here's how it goes, brother. You get them all right, you're going to win 50 cash and a $25 gift card. You get 6 to 9 right, you're going to get 50 cash. You get less than 6. You get less than 6 right, you're going to get a $25 gift card. And unfortunately, you get nothing right, you get nothing. Sound good, man?
Sounds good.
All right, good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
And we're going to get the first one starting now.
Falcon. What year?
That is unfortunate. He played a lot of years for the Falcons. But you can use positions, initials, or career teams.
What's the initial?
MT. You got 10 seconds, brother.
I'm not gonna know that one.
So you want to give up?
Yeah, I'll give up.
Michael Turner.
Michael the Burner Turner.
Michael Turner. Yeah, he was pretty good. I liked him.
He was good with the Chargers, too, backing up LT.
Yeah.
You know, he was probably playing before I was even born.
That's right. You might not get many of these.
What year were you born?
07.
Oh, he got signed by the Falcons in 08.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I told you, hey.
All right, you boys ready for this next one?
Hit it.
All right, starting now.
Looks like a tight end, to be honest. I think he played around when Big Ben was a rookie.
Yeah, Big Ben was out there, yeah. Mm-hmm. I got this one wrong at first, but I did know who it was.
I think that's what it's going to be, because I know he was definitely a part of the Super Bowl team, right?
He was. 10 seconds. He won 2 of them with Big Ben. 5, 4, 3,
Does his name start
2,
with Ben? I think
1. Sorry, brother. Tight end Heath Miller.
I knew I would get
Every time he'd catch a pass, they'd go, Heath!
Nah, you knew who it was, but you just didn't remember the name.
All good, man. All right, ready for this next one, Nate?
Yep.
Hit it.
All right, let's get it popping. Starting now.
Oh, geez, the Raiders weren't that great of a team.
In the early 2000s, they were.
They were,
The
but
snow
not
game.
Yeah, they were. Right.
This would have been.
They actually won a Super Bowl too. Oh no, they lost the Super Bowl.
No, they lost Super
Yeah,
Bowl
to the
Bucks.
Bucks, right?
He knows. I told you he knows,
dude.
Yeah, I know my history. I don't know players, but I know my history.
10 seconds.
I want to say, is this Tim Couch?
Wrong. I'll give you one more guess. You got 5 seconds.
Same number as Tim Couch, but that is not
2,
Tim Couch.
1. Sorry, brother. That is quarterback Rich Gannon.
Well, it's funny. I was going through my football cards last night, and I actually have a card from him. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to remember that name.
That's him, Rich Gannon.
Rich Gannon, man. Yeah, he took him to a Super
couple-
Bowl. They
couple
lost to the
great
Bucks,
seasons,
though.
eh?
All right, you ready for this next one, Nate?
Sure.
All righty. Starting now. I will say that guy is a Hall of Famer.
All right. Could I have not the career teams one? What's the other one you got me?
The position.
Okay, position. He's obviously a tackle or a guard. Career teams.
He's played for the Rams. Have you seen that picture? In the Bears. He played 1 season for the Bears at the end of his career.
One of the best to ever do it right there.
Yeah, he honestly is. And you got 5 seconds, my dude. 3, 2.
I'm gonna know the name right as you say it.
It is guard Orlando Pace.
Animal.
Yeah, that dude was a dog, bro.
Kurt Warner protected him a lot. Mike
Oh, yeah.
Bolger, all
Oh,
the
yeah,
boys.
man. All right. We got this next one coming up
Hit it.
now.
Jaguars. I'm guessing receiver. He's definitely probably a receiver or running back.
This is the one I got wrong, even though I know who this is, but
Seen him before.
Ten seconds.
What teams he was? Or no, I already used that.
Yep, you got you got his position, but
I already got the position.
right.
Okay, so this is very difficult.
That's all right.
Especially when you're young.
we had a guy on here that should have got some, and he got them all wrong.
Wide receiver Jimmy Smith.
Yep.
Very well known with Keenan McCardell when the Jaguars became a team. Alrighty.
Jaguars are tough because they're newer too.
They're new
Right.
team, yeah.
Texans.
Yeah, this guy, him and Keenan McCardell put with Mark Brunell,
Mark
put them on the
Brunell,
map.
yeah, the lefty out
Yes,
there.
sir. Alrighty, man. Let's get this next one popping, Nate. Starting
Nate.
now.
Oh, did he back up Kurt Warner?
He did actually, yeah. Technically.
And then he took over Kurt Warner's
Yeah,
job.
yes,
And I
so-
may or may not have already said his name today.
Ah, damn, I should have paid attention.
Did
while
you?
I was over there.
I did.
Oh.
I said Orlando Pace protected
Oh,
him
yes, you did.
and
10 seconds.
Kurt Warner. Because he came in right after Kurt Warner. He took Kurt Warner's job almost. You know, that's how it went down.
4, 3.
Kim
Two.
Peller?
No, that is
Mark Bulger.
Mark Bulger.
Bulger.
I said his name.
Okay.
He did. Alrighty, Nate. Let's go on this next one, brother. Starting now. And mind you, that is the Super Bowl against
That's
them.
the Super Bowl versus the Patriots
Yep.
that we won, I think, 32-29.
It was,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
we won by a
was.
field goal.
It was a
Yep,
field
Adam
goal, and it
Vinatieri.
was
Adam
32-29,
Vinatieri, Brady's, he caught a touchdown if I'm not wrong.
He did.
Steve Smith wasn't playing for the Panthers.
He was. Steve
He
Smith
was.
was on the
That's
pit.
not
He
him.
was the secondary receiver. You got 8 seconds.
Initials? Or do I have those? Do I have the
You already used initials.
Damn.
2, 1. That's wide receiver Mushin Muhammad.
Yep, Muhammad. Yep, that's a tough one. But
Yeah,
that
it is
he's
that one.
I got that one, but that was a tough one.
All right, so unfortunately, Nate, you're 0 for 7 right now, man. It happens. My buddy Ben, who is a little older than me, he went 0 for 10, man, with guys he should have
He
known.
went
so
0 for 10.
don't feel bad, brother.
And then we said he went 5 for 10, but he actually went 7 for 10. So
right.
we had to make an apology here because
Right.
Keith didn't add that up.
Well, next time I'm having you write them down.
I should write them down and just like check them
Right,
off.
that's what I'm saying. Have 1 to 10 with a check or an X.
Oh, that was so funny.
All right, Nate, let's get this next one popping. 0 for 7, brother. Let's get you some on the board.
Come
Starting
on.
now.
All right, so he's a receiver for the Bills. I want to say Steve Smith never played for the Bills. Yeah, no, he never played for the Bills.
He was drafted in the same draft as Ben Roethlisberger, if that helps with your cards.
There was a lot of people. That was the
2004.
Eli Manning.
10 seconds.
Same thing, yeah. And Phillip Rivers.
5, 4.
Would it be?
2,
I don't
1.
know. This is
Wide receiver Lee Evans.
Lee Evans.
Lee Evans.
Yep.
Actually played for the Ravens, too. All right, Nate. 0 for 8, brother. Let's
Come
get you on
on,
the
Nate.
last 2 ones coming up. Starting now.
He's definitely a running back. I think he backed. He's the backup running back, not the starting running back.
No, he
No,
started.
he started.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler.
He was really good after Edger and James.
10
It's
seconds.
not Frank Gore, is it?
No.
No. Okay.
That's a good guess, though.
That is a good guess. He played for the Colts.
Yeah, he did.
3, 2.
This one was tough. This
Lenny
was a
and
tough one.
Tomlinson?
Running back Joseph Adai.
Yeah,
I was never getting that
No,
one.
that was a tough one, actually, too.
He was nasty with the Colts, though. I hated whenever we played against him. He always went off against us, dude. Nate.
Come on, Nate.
Last one here, brother. And let's get it popping. Starting now.
Cowboys running back. Oh, is that Lamarcus? Oh, is that it's something Murray, right?
That's not DeMarco Murray.
What's my last lifeline? I have career teams.
Yeah, no, you use that on Orlando
Position.
Pace. You have the position,
Oh,
which
you
is
already
running back.
said
We're
running
changing that lifeline, but that's, yeah, you got no more hints,
Did
brother.
he? Ooh,
It's a very common last name.
Very common.
Just very, very common.
very common.
5, 4, 3, 2,
I'm not
1.
gonna get that.
Sorry, brother. That is running back Felix, Jones. He backed up running back Marion Barber.
Barber was good, too.
But Nate, I'm sorry, brother.
Nate,
you know,
you got
man,
nothing.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
No
0 for
problem.
10,
Hey,
but yeah,
nice try.
unfortunately, man, you got nothing. So unfortunately, he's getting nothing,
All
man.
right, man.
It's all
Yep.
right.
All right, well, that's all we got for tonight. Thanks, Nate, for coming in. Appreciate
Frank,
it. Oh, my God. This guy never shuts his phone off. This is wild up in here.
I'm
Who's
sorry,
calling
guys.
you now, man?
You got calls too, man.
Hey, you got one. You got like 8. Get out of here.
Hello?
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Opinionated? We're a sports show. We're supposed to be opinionated.
Of course
First of
we
all,
are.
who the are you?
Is that the wicked the Wicked Witch?
What? You know who this is, Frank?
Yeah,
What's going on,
I know what
bro?
this is. The new Snow White live action movie is actually coming to theaters this weekend. It's the first time it's ever been, Snow White hasn't been animated. So, yeah, it looks like a cool movie. Go check that out.
Oh, okay, Wicked Witch of the East or whoever you are. How about you ask your magic mirror who's the best around these parts?
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Not you. We love Boston's Banter over here.
That's right.
That's
You
right.
heard the
That's
magic
how we
mirror.
do it.
Frankie. That's
Come
how
on,
we
I'm
do it,
gonna-
brother. The magic
That's
mirror
what-
likes
that's
us
what we
over
like
here,
to
brother.
see.
Frankie, let's get out
Let's
of here.
get out
man.
of here. So, from Beantown to your town, stay wicked, Pissah.
I didn't mean to piss her off, but from Foxborough to your borough, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.